Okay, hello. So these are the rudder pedals I made, mostly to use on flight simulators. I'm also using it on Elite, and yeah, I got a diagram from a 737 with dimensions and angles, and I tried to copy it and try to apply the same principle. So these are Pendular. This part here stays on floor, of course. And on the 737 it's the opposite. The pedals come from down to the floor, and this one is the opposite. So I couldn't make holes on the floor, so I changed it and made them pendular. They are good. They are very good. I like. Dimensions are 60 centimeters from left to from here to here. The pendles, what's this called? These arms, big arms, are from bottom to the top, 40 centimeters. It's very important to have this length, to have a lot of length, so the angle of movement here is very shallow. You can see that it stays almost parallel to the ground. The most parallel it is, the better the feeling, the better the control you get. And yeah, right now I don't have much range of motion because they are being used in Elite Dangerous, but I can increase it. Everything is adjustable, everything can be tweaked. I made this from steel tubing, square steel tubing, and round tubing, of course. Yeah, this I made this first. I made this big shaft from square tubing, so it can stay stable. I made some triangulation so it doesn't move when I exert force, because this can make a lot of force on your legs. It can be made to make a lot of force. The more force you have, the better sensibility. Yeah, you can improve your sensibility, and it gets tiring, but yeah. These shafts, I'm gonna call it shafts, I don't know. They've made this triangulation. They attach here. I have this big bolt. So I used a lot of car parts. These are tie rods from Mercedes. These are some branded tie rods. They are very good, very reliable, very strong. Zero play. They have zero play on it. That's very important. You don't want to have this stuff moving around and giving play. So this part is very important part. It's kind of a bearing. It's kind of a bearing that is from windscreen wipers from an Audi. I attached it to the frame. I couldn't weld it because this part is aluminum. This part is aluminum. I had to bolt it. I don't know if I can show. Yeah, I made these bolts. I put these bolts here, and it's mostly car parts, tie rods, some bearings. These bearings here are from timing belts from some engines. I don't know. Doesn't matter. They are very smooth, very reliable. No play on it. So, yeah, I was showing it doesn't have any play. If I'm exerting a lot of force and it doesn't move. Of course, I'm not gonna be doing any of this force in real use, but yeah, it's very important to don't have any play. So this part on top here with these two tie rods, it's what makes the linkage. I'm gonna go back. It's what makes the linkage between the left and right pedals. So when the right pedal goes back, so the logo goes forward, and vice versa. Yeah, I can show you. Very smooth, not noisy, no play. This system I improvised here, it's what makes the calibration. I can turn these bolts and change the calibration. These two shafts here need to be exactly the same length from left to right, and when building it, they can go slightly off. One you can make one. I could make one bigger than the other. This way I can adjust them so they are exactly the same, and via software I can see the values and tweak it on the fly and during the calibration via software. This part here is what's gonna make the bumps, not bumps, the stops. It can is gonna make the movement range from max to center to the other max. Yeah, from. So I attached this link to here from this bearing to this tie rod, and because both of them needs to also be the same length, I made this hole, and I can bolt it back and forward and adjust the length, so it needs to be exactly the same, or it's not gonna work. Right now I'm not using any spring or elastic. It's just for showing how it works. I use this without any links on Elite because I want to be max forward, max backwards, and not having any spring, but it's just preference. I'm gonna try to put spring here, just to show how it works. Yeah. Okay. So if I push it with my hand, I'm meeting a lot of force because it's made to be used by legs, not my arm. And this part here is what controls that. I have another bearing here. I have this bolt here that adjusts the max stop. This one is what adjusts the center stop. So it's very important to have this stop on center because that's gonna make this feeling of a groove. I can feel a kind of feel of a groove when it's at center. So this way you know when you are at center and you're not slightly left or slightly right, and so your aircraft is not gonna be pulling to the right without you not knowing or not feeling whatever. Yeah, I can go forward, and if I turn this, if I turn this, I will have more range. If I decrease this length, I'm gonna have more range. If I unturn it, I won't have that much range. And I put some kind of rubber and sponges so it doesn't get noisy. It's very important to me also not for this not to not be noisy, and it's not. It's kind of decent. It can be used at home, not disturbing anyone. Yeah, not that silent, but it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. So what's left to say? Now I was doing the electrical parts. I have attached here. It's not final. It's just for testing. I was just trying to see how it will work. Attach the potentiometer here. These are the three wirings. It's ground signal and it's ground signal and voltage plus. Okay, and this is the thirsty. It's dusty. Okay, this is the electrical card from a sidewinder I was using it. I was using the one axis. This is the potentiometer from one axis, so it can go positive, 0, and negative. Yeah, and I need to redo the wiring. The wiring it's not final. It's a mess. It's a complete mess. I need to solder this to attach this. Yeah, so that's it. This is a very heavy system. I don't know. It's not something you would have on a plane. If I did this on a plane, the plane would be able to lift off the ground with all this. It's like 20 kilos. It should be used with aluminum, but I used steel, so I could. I did this welding myself. It's all MIG welds. It's all MIG welds everywhere. It's not perfect, but it's not gonna go anywhere. It's very solid. So yeah, I still have to do the rudder. No, I mean the toe brakes. Still need to do the toe brakes. The card has attachment, has points to use more to to put more potentiometers for the toe brakes. So it's okay. Just need to make them. Right now I've been using it. Yeah. I'm still planning on using force feedback, attaching some force feedback here, so I can turn it off when I want. I don't want to always be needing to attach and detach this spring, and I don't have feeling of the wind or the speed with these pedals. The resistance is always the same, depends on the elastic that I give it. With force feedback I can be better. I can have that by software. I'm planning to attach another shaft here with the electrical engines here. I still have space here. Let's see. Okay. Hope you understand. Leave any comments about this. Okay.